Okay, welcome back everybody to my great Planes J-3 Cub build. When I left off last week, you'll remember I had a couple issues with the spar ends here I wanted to deal with, and then this front wing strut mounting point had a small issue. Let me take a moment to catch you up to let you know how I took care of those. Okay, so when I left off last week, I was having an issue trying to figure out how to cut these bottom and top spar here at an angle. After reading the instructions a few more times, I finally went back to that sheet where I couldn't find the part, and I found a part. Doesn't look like the one in the manual, but I noticed there was a real faint SG, that's spar gauge, stamped into it, and I filled it in with my pencil so that I could see it easier. And what it's telling me to do is line this up on the center line. So I found the center line on the plans here, and what that does is it gives us an angle to put the dihedral in the wings. This is not perfectly square here, so what we'll end up with is the top spar will be a little shorter than the bottom spar, just a hair, and then the same thing again on the other wing, and when it's all joined together it'll give us the angle we want for the dihedral. I also went back into my scrap box and got the little pop out section from the rib out of the trash and glued it back in to give the other side something to glue to. I like that a lot better. Okay, and as I said, we will be catching the left-hand wing panel up to where we're at with the right-hand panel, and here is the other panel here. We're all caught up. So now it's time to join them together. Okay, we're all set up here to join the left hand and the right hand wing panels together. I added the dihedral in. I made these little stilts and adjusted them for a 5/8 inch rise as measured at the R7 rib. The left hand wing panel though, the R7 rib sticks off the edge of the table, so I measured underneath of the R6 rib on the right hand panel and then made the same height adjustment under the R6 rib on the left hand panel, so that's going to work just fine. And then I took this front spar joiner here and the forward and aft main spar joiners here. This is ply. We punched these out. They were die cut. I had to make some adjustments on them to get everything to fit just right. I want these wing panels to meet exactly where they're supposed to be, and it wanted to kick them out a little bit, so I had to take a little bit off at each end here and a little bit off of the curves underneath here. Anyway, I got them fitting just absolutely perfect. I'm very happy with that. They're not glued in yet. They will be soon. But what we have to do next is we have to join these dihedral braces together. I imagine I'll go ahead and epoxy those. It makes like a sandwich out of it. You know this has got to be important when you have 3 pieces of ply basically laminated together. And that's going to go in between this forward and aft spar joiner here. It'll be going right in between there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue them up and get them ready to install there. Okay, I noticed as I was gluing these 3 pieces together here, one of them is a little bit wider than the rest of them. The die cut's not that great on them. I noticed it before I started gluing, but I figured I'd go ahead and glue it together and then sand it or file it as a block rather than whittling down on one piece alone. Just didn't seem like a good idea, so I'll custom fit that as a unit, as one piece. Okay, so I got the wing apart here. I got the 3 pieces of the dihedral brace glued together and test fit. I got the front joiner marked here with a pencil. I got the front spar joiner and the rear spar joiner here all marked. And there's also a slight dihedral in these pieces, so we want to make sure we get the bend in the right direction. So that's why I've marked them, so that while I'm gluing this, there will be no questions to it. So now I'm going to mix up my epoxy. I'm using 30-minute epoxy here for this piece. That's what they recommend because it takes some time to work this and fiddle it and get it just right. So I'm going to go ahead and mix my epoxy, and then I'm going to glue everything to the left-hand panel and then slide it in and glue it to the right-hand panel. Okay, so we got the two wing panels all glued up nicely here. Everything fit just right. It's been about 4 hours. I've been letting this sit here, so I'm going to remove these clamps now so I can continue on with the build here. As you can see, it took a lot of clamps, so it's going to take me a second to get all these off here. Okay, the next thing we'll be adding is these two aft rib sections here. I already have one of them glued in here. The other one's going to fit right nicely into here. And then I'm going to be gluing in the two remaining shear web pieces on the front and the back, both sides here. And we'll be taking these forward rib sections and gluing them down into that area right there. I'll go ahead and glue this piece in. I'll glue the rear shear webs here, and then I'll probably pull it up off the plans for the first time since it's been joined together, flip it around, and then put the front shear webs in, these pieces, and we will be also installing the dowels pieces here for the wing mounting. So that's next. What I did, again using my ruler, this is my steel yardstick, and made sure that the leading edge was straight across there after, or actually before I glued it. I'm just showing you now that lined up perfectly. so I think we've gotten to our next stopping point here. When we come back, we'll be adding all the sheeting onto the wings. We'll be mocking up the aileron servo, installing the bell cranks and the push rods for the ailerons, and then we'll have to see what's next after that, probably the fuselage. So thank you for tuning in again, and like and comment and subscribe if you like, and I hope to see you here next time.